At Throne and Tales, we are glad to have you. Today, let's get deep into the life of one of history's most controversial figures, Adolf Hitler. His journey is one of dreams, failures, ambition, and power. This story will not only help you to improve your English, but also until the very end, make you hook. Grab your headphones, seat yourself, and allow us to take off. All of these came to pass on the 20th of April, 1889, in Braunau am Inn, Austria, a small city. A healthy newborn baby was born to Alois and Clara Hitler, who named him Adolf. At that time, no one could predict that this little boy would later become a symbol of shaking the world. Adolf Hitler was not born with any special characteristics as a child. He enjoyed outdoor activities, designing and fantasizing of a bright future. Life, however, was challenging. His father, Alois, was very strict and insisted that Adolf studied well and got a government job just like he did. On the other hand, Adolf had a totally different dream. "I want to be an artist," he would tell the mother, Clara, only to receive a nod of consent from her. She, however, did not have the authority to move Alois's decision. Adolf's childhood was full of conflicts with his father, who would often shout, "Art is not a real job." Many times Adolf would be silent, crying out of view. When the boy was 13 years old, his father died in a sudden way. Although some people thought Adolf might have been happy, losing his father left a void in his heart. Vienna is a city of art, so naturally Adolf wanted to go there and be a famous painter. Teachers used to call Adolf a smart kid with a lazy character because he was always avoiding school. But that was not all that came his way. So, in order to refocus his attention on something else, he pursued the career of his dreams, drawing. He packed his bags after finishing school and moved to Vienna, Austria. "Vienna is the city of art. I will become a famous painter here," he thought. He applied to the Academy of Fine Arts, but was devastated when he saw the results. He was turned down. The school mentioned to him, "Your work is not good enough." Frankly speaking, he attempted a third time with hopes that this time he will succeed. But yet again, his dream was shattered. To sleep on the street and to live in these small, dirty rooms, this was how Adolf coped with his loneliness and his inability to get a regular job. Why is life so unfair? He decided. Moreover, his mother's passing away had to be reconciled. Alone and avid, he would see others as the ones and not himself being the responsible ones. "It's not my fault," he would say. In 1914, when World War I began, everything was going the other way for Adolf. He felt like the time had come for him to finally seize an opportunity that would give him a mission and a cause. He at length joined the German army and felt he was finally in the middle of a genuine mission. He was particularly brave in the service of the deteriorating Germany. He had been the one taking messages across the harm's way and even received 2 medals for the courage he displayed. Still, the very defeat that came in 1918, Germany's losing of the war, deeply angered Adolf. "They deceived us, the leaders," he yelled. In his opinion, Germany needed someone mighty to raise it up again. The emergence of a new figure on the political scene. A period of turmoil engulfed Germany after the war. Adults were poor and hungry, and U.S. Army drinking water and trying full of them, many were discontented about the war's result. Adolf converted a short political association known as the German Workers' Party. Therefore, his imposing statement that was sharp and passionate touched off the emotions of the crowd. "Fragile Germany will rise from the dust," he excitedly announced. More and more people began following him. Adolf renamed the group to the National Socialist German Workers' Party, also called the Nazi Party. It was he who even crafted their symbol, the black swastika on a red flag. "Along with my aims, it will be the most influential and recognized symbol all over the planet," he let them know. His speeches served as magnets for the crowds. The majority of people kindly bought into his nurturing of a strengthened and vibrant Germany. However, His views were extremely perilous. He pointed fingers at certain groups which caused Germany's troubles, and he spread hate thoughts, from prison to power. In 1923, Adolf endeavored to take command over the German government by means of force. The affair, known as the Beer Hall Putsch, was a failure and led to Adolf's imprisonment. He was put away for 9 months. However, he wrote a book called Mein Kampf, My Struggle, while incarcerated, in which his ideas were spelled out. Adolf Hitler controlled the media, including newspapers and radio, and forced people to believe in him by saying, "You can only believe in Adolf Hitler." Those who disagreed were punished or sent to prison. He built a strong army and a youth organization consisting of the Hitler Youth, who were asked to spread fascist ideals by babies. The flag with swastika became him as a representative. The volume of his speeches went up with time. "Germany and its military are the strongest. We will rule the world," is what he shouted, and they greeted him with applause. The outbreak of World War II. In 1939, Adolf took a daring step. He gave a command to his army to invade Poland, which was actually the start of World War II. His desire was to completely have Europe under his rule. At first, his army triumphed in many battles, but suddenly things went a wrong way. As the war was going on, Adolf had gained too many enemies. The United States, the Soviet Union, and Britain were all fighting against him. German cities were destroyed, and the people who at first praised Adolf started to be without hope. The Holocaust and the end of the war. While the war was ongoing, Adolf was carrying out one of the darkest events in the history of humankind, the Holocaust. Millions of innocent people were massacred in concentration camps. By 1944, Germany was doing badly in the war. The people were in great distress as the city was full of bombs. Adolf was terribly afraid, and he did not trust anyone. He was a lover of hiding, making his main martyr his bunker. The last days. In April 1945, Berlin was surrounded by the Soviet army. The buildings were ruined, and fires were burning. On April 29th, Adolf surprised everyone by marrying his better half, Eva Braun, in a simple ceremony inside the bunker. The very next day, i.e., April 30th, Adolf and Eva took their own lives. Adolf was 56 years when he died. Meanwhile, the Russians got in the bunker and encountered the couple's bodies. The aftermath. It was on May 8, 1945, when Germany surrendered and found itself in absolute shambles. Adolf Hitler realized that his ambition of making Germany the most powerful country had only resulted in destruction and pain. His actions led to the loss of millions of lives. Eventually, the whole world came together to rebuild. Then, Germany transformed into a calm country. Basically, people never forgot terrible events, like the Holocaust and the Second World War, and this is how they guaranteed that those would never happen again. Lessons from history. Adolf Hitler's saga is a vivid warning not only about the perils of hatred, uncontrolled ambition, the misuse of power, but also about the need to be responsible in decision-making. His choices resulted in incredible suffering and sacrifice, not only for himself, but for millions of others. This story reveals that the choices we make determine our future. We have to be wise when we take any action and always think of how our choices affect others. Compassion, unity, and kindness could lead to a world with hope, not one that regrets of previous actions. Thank you for listening to this story. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Throne and Tales for more incredible stories that help you learn English while exploring history. See you in the next story.